Hi there. Hope you are all doing well, wherever you may be listening to this from. Breaking down the dangers and powers of algorithms online. Let's begin. When people discuss issues around social media, oftentimes the topic of discussion revolves around privacy. What most people forget to understand is that everything they do online is either created or influenced by an algorithm. In today's digital climate, algorithms have become front and center in the war on our personal data, and people must understand the dangers that they can bring. Looking beyond the scope of simple privacy issues, this presentation will uncover the dangers and implications that algorithms and their biases can have, specifically, the impact they can have on people's usage of social media, privacy, and democracy as a whole. The overarching goal of this presentation is to give people a better understanding of the dangers that algorithms can have, not only on themselves, but on society. Furthermore, the presentation will examine a case study of the Indignados, also known as the anti-austerity movement in Spain, that was bolstered by the main activist knowledge of Twitter algorithms, in turn leading to a massive change in the democracy of Spain. Through this analysis, we will gain a greater understanding into how algorithms can affect a democracy. Before examining the dangers of algorithms, it is important first to define what algorithms are. Algorithms are essentially a set of instructions a machine follows to complete a goal. In the digital context, algorithms allow computers to do anything. You may be asking yourself, but why should we care? Well, those who understand that algorithms play a role in what content they can see both adjust their expectations and use strategies to find their content. Additionally, those who lack such awareness and understanding are more at the mercy of what sites are made available to them and may have issues avoiding biases. In today's day and age, artificial intelligence has become so powerful for social media companies that it has become the primary method of filtering and distributing content online. These reasons alone provide a basis for a continued discussion surrounding algorithms. Now moving on to the breakdown of TikTok's algorithm. Here in social media popularity, TikTok's algorithm has literally changed the social media game forever. Immediately after signing up, TikTok begins taking your data on your face, location, personal data, gender, age, you name it. The more interaction or videos you click on allows TikTok to gain a greater understanding of your interests. Now, the problem here is that research studies in Australia show TikTok is exposing their users to dangerous content while controlling which people and political movements get users' attention. Now, this is problematic in its own right, as social media should be a place for entertainment and joy, not contentious and violent content. Algorithms are at the forefront of this issue, and individuals must understand the dangers and powers that this technology has. The topic of algorithm biases impact on people's everyday social media usage. Examining an article from an NBC News titled, "Are You in Social Media Bubble? Here's How to Tell." As explained in the article, everyone's social media pages are unique in the sense that advertisements presented to you online are personalized just for you. The reason this is important reverts back to the idea mentioned previously. If all of these algorithmically curated sites are working with other companies to create personalized advertising messages with our information, it raises numerous questions regarding individual privacy as well as safety concerns. As it states in the article, social media companies strategically take the content we see that is similar to that of others and regurgitate those same thoughts felt by those back to us. This reveals some glaring issues into how social media's usage, including a lack of diversity and perspective, and the idea that individuals on social media are just another form of a consumer. This source also offers a great example into how social media operates, as we are given the perspective from the digital media company, specifically in how they capitalize on people monetarily through algorithmic biases. Another element that works in tandem with algorithms is that of echo chambers. Echo chambers are defined as the opinion, political leaning, or belief of users about a topic that gets reinforced due to repeated interactions with peers or others with similar attitudes. Examining Facebook, users who get news primarily from Facebook are more susceptible to the filtering of echo chambers, as Facebook's algorithm segregates its users by preference, more so than other platforms like Twitter or Reddit. So users on Facebook are exposed to even less diverse content than on other platforms. Social media apps like Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube have capitalized exponentially off the use of algorithms over recent years. As lead professor in information technology and business analytics at the University of Carolina notes, these companies are not being held accountable. In Facebook's case, addictive algorithms has led to more divisive content and misinformation, whereas for Instagram, the addictive algorithms has led children and teens to harmful content that can lead to body image issues, mental health crises, and bullying. As a result of this recent phenomenon, a standard must be set in order for corporate companies to not take advantage of an individual and their privacy. Hence, as you can see here, the idea to create an equivalent to the FDA, an agency that can protect the intellectual property of a company while also creating an algorithm that ensures the public isn't violated in any way, would be beneficial for a multitude of reasons. Not only would this lower cyber attacks and enhance privacy, lobbying for transparency relative to the impact on individuals should be a priority for lawmakers. If society believes there are injustices occurring within the digital media world that deal with our personal data, a resolution should occur before AI and algorithms gain even more power. Moving on to privacy issues and algorithms' impact on it. Let's examine Twitter and their creation of an algorithmic timeline. The source outlines how Twitter created the algorithm, the difficulties in creation and implementation, and the amount of new information they've gained on users since its installation. It provides evidence into how issues involving privacy have increased since social media companies like Twitter have developed complex algorithms that have bolstered interaction. Conversely, the complex algorithms have also caused significant backlash due to the amount of personal information they are retrieving on their users. On the same topic of privacy, I feel it is important to note the dangers surrounding algorithmic biases and its impact on society. Algorithmic biases are found in any company, big or small. For this particular example, let's examine a research study that was conducted by a website, Gender Shades. They created this study with the goal in mind of determining if there were biases in the algorithms of three major face recognition service providers, including Microsoft, IBM, and Face++. The sampling size was made up of subjects from 3 African countries and 3 European countries, with 54.4% of respondents being male and 44.6% being female, respectively. Furthermore, 53.6% of the subjects had light skin and 46.4% had darker skin. After further investigation, it was determined the AI software, i.e., the algorithm, did not identify dark-skinned individuals, in this case, particularly dark-skinned women, accurately. Not only does this show an inherent bias within the system, it sheds light on the potential dangers that AI can bring within an ever-changing digital world. Now moving on. A lot of discussion so far has revolved around algorithms and their biases' impact on people's privacy and everyday usage of social media. Examining how social movements like the Indignados are boosted through algorithmic recommendations can illustrate the power and control they can have on society. Every day we are subordinating ourselves into groups and classes that fit our ideal reality. But just how far has that come? Regarding social media algorithms and collective action specifically, an article linked on this slide outlines how algorithms on these sites undermine the work of social movements due to the profit-minded frameworks of the social media corporations. It also uncovers the struggles people go through with understanding how these complex algorithms work and explains that the combination of social media features and algorithms can hurt social movements due to the opaqueness and commercial minds of the algorithm designers. Now, this does not mean social movements are not successful on social media. Rather, it explains how elements of genuinity and realism are diminished when the goals of the corporate company differ from the movement creator. Further research through the analysis of two intermediaries for news consumption, which includes Facebook and Google, revealed an answer to the question of, do algorithms present a potential danger to democracy? Now, the research article uncovers how social media companies operate solely to produce revenue, similar to that of any business. For example, social media platforms sell personalized ads whereby the user's attention acts as the sole driving force behind making money. This is important because as they describe it, the attention of the user is the most profitable way to make money. And studies have shown that more often than not, people are drawn to their phones because of negative emotions, i.e., anger, sadness, stress, a way to avoid their everyday life. So this raises the question, are social media and their algorithms responsible for some individuals' mental health problems? It would be hard to determine, but preliminary research has suggested this is the case. Now let's examine the Indignados movement. The Indignados movement was a social movement created in 2011 and 2012, which involved protests and demonstrations against the austerity policies of Spain. The people of Spain took to the streets rallying against high unemployment rates, capitalism, public corruption, and many more injustices. Its importance cannot be understated, as it influenced the later creation of the Occupy Wall Street. Through a meticulous approach of trial and error, the movement's creators were able to better understand how the algorithmic timeline of Twitter works, specifically the trending topics page and hashtag algorithm. The Indignados' ability to not only create trending topics and master the art of Twitter, but create this new kind of viral politics was unmatched within contemporary movements. Their ability to disseminate and create a narrative surrounding the anti-austerity policies of Spain in 2011 and 2012 was successfully done through the mastering of the hashtag algorithm. The Indignados helped signal a new level of technological awareness in the realm of digital activism and allowed the ability of showing the education of AI and social media can bolster its message and create meaningful change. In the case of the Indignados movement, it brought a nation together, ultimately strengthening its democracy after such movements. Now, before I let you go, here are the key takeaways of this presentation that I hope you were able to gain a bit more understanding on, which is algorithm and their biases impact on people's everyday usage of social media, how it affects society, how it affects the inner individual, their mental health, how these addictive algorithms are shaping the new age of social media. Additionally, looking into people's privacy and the effect on democracy has allowed for a greater understanding into how algorithms and their biases can truly affect the world. Now, before I let you go, I want to leave you with one last question to think about as you leave this presentation. If you were a leader or a CEO of a large social media company like Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, how would you balance protecting people's personal data while enhancing interaction on the media site? Now, this is just something to think about as you leave, so no stress if you can't. and I'd like to thank you for your time and cooperation on this presentation. Thank you.